oteekewo olubimbi obwire bugenzere sigensigo olinda amakesa nakakira kagwire leka kwikara kulera engalo ola saba Ruhanga akuyambe nagawo otaireho bamato kozesa akakataitako inaho omuranga ngutiri tafali ntaireho bamato niwe tara ya toro oh yeah don't halo the future ya toro olikelelesi osemeriro bemwelembezi olikelelesi osemeriro bemwelembezi kole byafayo n'abalija bali kusomaho bali kimanya bwatoro kalwanya endalo bali kumanya kemanzi yatoro kakwanya engabo ekirali kyawe mu bamaani kiri bambitabo hura mbamato muhube mbamato Twana kukobensi yawe mirungi bali kwichuka bali kuhero bwakaiso mwana w'omuka bona bali babaroho bali kwesimisa ibala lyawe mu bamaani liri bambitabu twambuli oteekewo olubimbi obwire bugenzere.
Thank you so much for tuning in on for TV. Thank you so much for loving us, and welcome back to this another episode of Mind Talks with Sandra. I am your host, Sandra. I'm a counselor by profession, a mental health advocate, and a co-founder of Serene Mind Care Network. And I'm so excited to be here with you all, and we are going to learn, relearn, and unlearn. Just tune in today and do not touch your remote. I'm seeing you. Okay, so this is Mind Talks with Sandra, where healing starts with just a conversation. This is going to be a safe space where we are going to talk about real life challenges, real life struggles, and how best can we cope with them. We are going to have different episodes talking about different topics, and we are going to have different people here on board. We are going to share with us their knowledge, the experiences, and those who have been able to survive different things. We are going to be bringing them here, and they are going to share with us. So today we are going to start with something very simple, and it is called mental health. You heard me right. You know, most of us know mental health. We've really heard about mental health, but we are not sure what mental health is. Some of us think it is madness. Some of us think that is something that is not normal. Or some of us really don't know what mental health is. We just hear it. And today we are here. We are going to talk about it. We are going to digest into it, and we are going to learn more about it. So if you're the kind of a person who has maybe you're a parent, you are so stressed about schools are coming, schools are yet to open, and you're stressed about the school fees, or you're that student and you are anxious about maybe your new school, your new class, or you don't know how things are going to be, or you are that leader who was able to win, or you didn't manage to win and you're really so anxious or driven by emotions. This is the best space for you. We are going to learn more things. Or you're just a person who is really trying to cope up with life's challenges, life stresses. This is going to be a very beautiful topic for you, so please tune in. Do not touch your remote. So as I told you, we are going to be talking about mental health. What is mental health? Like, when I speak about mental health, what comes into your mind? Yeah, so mental health is defined as a well-being, someone's psychological well-being, whereby they are able to cope up with the stresses of life and know who they are, and also be able to contribute to their community. But for me, I said mental health, this is the way you feel, the way you cope, and the way you survive life. You know, life is really full of challenges. Life is really full of ups and downs. As they always say, it cannot rain 365 days. And we have those days where it is raining so much, we have those days where it is really really so hot, and we have those days where it is just normal. It's a normal time. So that's how life is. And maybe when you get those hardships, how do you cope up with life? How do you cope up with those hardships of life? Yeah. So, and if you have smiled in public and cried in private, that is mental health. You have been felt so overwhelmed but you kept quiet, that might be mental health. When you have a lot of things to say but you can't really say something, that can be mental health. So mental health has a lot of things, and mental health doesn't mean that, like when you talk about mental health, doesn't mean that you're going to be okay, you're going to be happy all the time, you're going to be live all the time. No, mental health means that you're able to bounce back regardless of what has hit you, regardless of what has pushed you. Like, you're able to bounce back, you're able to stand on your 2 toes, and you're like, okay, I'm back, here I am. So what should we know about mental health? So for me, the simple way I can explain mental health to you is, do you know a car? Yes, most of us know cars, and some of us own a car. So in that car we have something called an engine. I hope you know it. So take an example, that engine is damaged. Do you think your car will be able to move, or will it be able to function very well? Like, even if you love that car so much, you take care of it, you change the exterior, the interior, you put some fragrances there, you want it to smell so good and all that, you put it in a nice color, you want it, some of us even put our number plates, personalized number plates. But if that car, how much you like it so much, if its engine is damaged, can you really drive it? You cannot. That's how life is. That's how mental health is. Your mental health is your engine, your head. That is your engine. Once it is damaged, you will not be able to do certain things, or you will not be able to reach your full potential because something is not right. Doesn't mean that you're mad. Most of us think that mental health means that someone is mad, someone is not normal, someone is bewitched and all that. No, it's not that you are mad. It means that you have to do something for yourself. So even people you see, you're stressed, you're always anxious, you wake up in the morning and you don't want to even wake up, you always want to be alone because you feel like everything irritates you, you feel like you hate yourself, you hate people around you, you want to take your life. You are not mad, you are not mentally okay, you just need to find help. And a few things you should know about mental health. Most of us think that mental health is witchcraft. I had a client one day, as I told you, I'm a counselor by profession. I had a client one day who used to get anxiety attacks, and the parents used to take her to the churches to be prayed for because they thought their child was possessed. But that wasn't the real case. She just needed some help, and when she started coming to me, we had to refer her to a psychiatrist, and she was helped. So most of us think that mental health issues like anxiety attacks, like bipolar and all that, we are going to learn more about that. We think that people are possessed, people mizimu, people are like it is witchcraft. But sometimes someone just needs help. You see that person is a drunkard, or even you, a person, every time you feel so low, you take alcohol, you take drugs. It means that something is lacking. You just need to find more positive coping means, right? So, and there are a few things, there are misconceptions about mental health people have about mental health. And what do you think? Mental health matters. Mental health matters because, as I told you, is our mental health is our engine. Like, our life rotates around our head. Like, everything, even the way you handle any situation, it rotates about how you think, how you feel. And mental health is more of how we love, how we think, how we relate with other people, how we parent, how we lead other people. That is mental health. Yes. So maybe you're there, you're trying, you're asking yourself, why in each relationship I'm attracting the same people, I'm attracting abusers, I'm attracting people were not good for me. Most times you just need to work on yourself. Yeah, because I told you mental health is more about your head, what you think about this world, what you think about other people around you, what do you think about the circumstances you go through as a person. Yes, I'm not gonna judge anyone because we are all different, and we behave the way we behave because of the different things we went through as people, like the experiences we've been through, like they really affect us, how like we behave, how we relate with other people and all that. But it takes you as a person to sit down and reflect on yourself, and you're like, okay, am I really mentally okay or not? As I told you, being mentally not okay doesn't mean that you're mad. You can be moving, you can be walking, but not just sense when you're not mentally okay. Yeah. So when we talk about mental health, we are talking about life. So, and this show we're going to heal over shame, conversation over pretending. We're going to have a lot of things to talk about and to learn about when it comes to mental health. So what really mental health is, most of us, now the schools are reopening soon, and I know some of us parents are now worried. You're worried of where you're going to get the school fees from. You as a child, you're also worried. You're like, I'm going to a new school, I'm going to a new class, how am I going to be able to cope up, or how am I going to be able to get my grades? We're anxious, some of us, and some of us, elections are just done, and some of us maybe won and others did not win. We are disappointed, and us who won, we feel like we are worried. We don't know how we are going to be able to pay back our supporters. Are we going to be able to do what they expect from us? Like, they're anxious. So that is what mental health is. And so mental health is more of emotional well-being, stress management, and decision making under pressure. So that is more of mental health. And what mental health is not witchcraft. It is not witchcraft. Yes, I know some of us think that mental health, when you see people on the roads, you think that those people were bewitched. Some of them weren't bewitched, my dear. It is just, they're not mentally okay, and they just needed some help. And as I told you, I'm a counselor by profession. There's a time I received a client who was used to really get panic attacks, and that person was being taken to churches to be prayed for, and the parents were really worried. They were like, okay, now he's reaching our child is not okay. But they just brought that person to me, and then when I diagnosed that person, we had to send her to a psychiatrist, and she really got better. But the parents thought that person was really being witchcraft was made on her. So mental health is not witchcraft. You just need some help, because we have different other mental health illnesses which you just need help, and some of them are misunderstood. People take to call them witchcraft. And also, mental health is not a weakness. You're going to seek support, you're going to seek for help. It is not a sign of weakness. Most of us, we grew up in societies where we are told to be strong. You're under something, you've lost someone, you've lost a job, you've lost a relationship, you've lost, or maybe you're having a lot of stresses, and the best thing someone can tell you is that stay strong. And that has made us think that not being mentally okay, that means you're weak. No, you are not weak, you just need help. And mental health is not madness. As I've told you, it is not madness. You think someone, maybe they are not mentally okay, they get panic attacks, they get bipolar, they have schizophrenia, like many things, because some mental health issues come with hallucinations. Someone starting to hear things which are not there. They are doing certain things you're not understanding, and people think that those people are mad. Sometimes those people, they're not even mad. You just need to help them out. So that's what most of us think that mental health is, or maybe those are the misconceptions about mental health. And some of us, if we see people seeking support, I had a friend, let me tell you a simple story. When I was going to do this course of counseling and guidance, so they gave me a course. I also didn't know about it that much, and I got a government scholarship at Chambogo University. So when I told my friends, oh, you know what, I got this course, and everyone was like, what course is that? Whom are you going to cancel? Canceling? Whom are you going to cancel? These things are for Wazungu, those people are for white people. Whom are you going to cancel when you are in Uganda? So most of us think that counseling is for the weak people, and or maybe counseling is for the Wazungu people, or it's not for the Africans. For us, we are told to be strong. And there are some schools I always go to, and I tell them that maybe we can have counseling sessions with those students, and the teacher can tell you, me, I grew up not being cancelled, but I excelled. So if you want to cancel my students, you're going to make them not great enough. You're going to make them not strong. Like you canceling people, someone going for counseling is a sign of weakness. No, my dear, it is not. You going for counseling, it is just a positive coping mechanism. And some of us women have students in our schools. You see that person, they used to perform so well, they used to be so great in class, and right now you're seeing them, they're deteriorating. So instead of beating that child, maybe ask them, try to analyze them and get to know what could be the issue, what could be the reason as why they're not performing to your expectations. And also, if you're the person, you feel like you're always angry, you're always mad at people, you always like you have something negative to say about life, most times it's not because you're mad or you're weak, you're not mentally okay and you just need help. So showing up to seek for help is not a sign of weakness. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you really love your life and you want to be better. And some of us are just here and you feel like maybe life is a bit challenging, life is overwhelming, you feel like you really want to take your life. You've really had a lot of people who take their life because of maybe the life challenges, and that person maybe refused or feared to seek for support because they feel like they will be seen as weak people. No, my dear. So mental health, you take care of your mental health. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that you love your life and you really want to bounce back regardless of what has hit you. And I'm here to tell you why mental health matters. Mental health matters because it affects our families, our children, and our leadership. Hear me out. If you are a parent, you're not mentally okay, you will find yourself being angry at your kids. You're always shouting at your kids. You think that you may be creating order in your kids, but whatever you're instilling in them, you're breaking them, you're traumatizing them. We have many of us who act out of anger. We do certain things which we regret later. So that's why I've told you mental health really matters, because it really affects us on how we relate with other people. Some of us, when we are mad, we just speak, and now things happen, and I won't speak much about that. And I'm telling you, mental health matters because it really affects us, how we relate with other people. You as a person, how do you cope with the challenges? How would you relate with other people? How would you bounce back? Let me take an example. You are the person, you had a relationship and the relationship didn't work out. That person maybe was abusive, that person was not good for you, and you, instead of you maybe after that relationship going to seek for support, you just landed into another relationship, and now you're traumatizing that person. You're bringing back that anger, that negative thoughts you have about people, and now we have another thing going around, people calling men trash. Men are not trash. It is that man who is trash who broke your heart, but not all men are trash. So that is the reason as to why I'm telling you that mental health really matters in your life. Yes, so if that person broke your heart, it doesn't mean that all people are bad. It means that person was bad, but you can get other people that are good for you. So when you do not take time to heal yourself, you find yourself not in a position to tolerate other people because you think that people were bad. So that's why mental health matters. And also mental health affects us as leaders. You are the leaders. It affects how you lead your people. Can you really make decisions under pressure? Can you really stand on your word? Can you really be consistent of what you have to do as a person or as a leader? So it is really important. And that unrelated stress can really affect you as a parent, as a teacher, as a leader, as a student, as a friend, as a lover. Like, if you do not treat your stress, if you don't treat your anxieties. If you don't be able to work on yourself mentally, it affects everything. As I told you, take your mental health as your engine. This mind, everything rotates around it. Life rotates around the way you see the world, the way you're able to bounce back, the way you're able to relate with people. It comes from your mind, like how you think of the world, how you think of so there's a book I was reading before, and this guy was talking about how our mind really drive us. Yeah. And he said everything, like if you're the person who loves Alfred Adler, I'm a really good fan of that man. He always says it doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter where you grew up from, it doesn't matter of what happened to you, but how you go about it is what matters. So that means it comes back to you as a person. Whatever has happened to you as a person, have you taken some time to work on yourself? Because let me take an example, a person who went through trauma. So this part might be a bit sensitive, but I read it in that book. It's called The Courage to Be Disliked, and they're talking more of Alfred Adler, the psychologist. And this guy says the amount of effort, all the energy you give to that trauma is what matters. Like the trauma you went through doesn't matter, but the amount of energy you give to it is what matters. Like if you're the kind of a person who grew up in maybe an average home, and whatever you're doing right now, you're like, after all, we are not planty kids, after all, we are not favored, after all. So you just sleep in your bed, you're like, oh, after all, we are not favored. You'll be like that for the rest of your life. But if we find this person who grew up in that average environment, and they're like, okay, I did not have a choice to choose the parents whom I grew up with, but I have a right to change my life. So they will work more and more to see that they can be better, regardless. So that's what you know. That's what I told you, that your mind really plays a lot in your life. Like what you think about life is what life becomes. So it's really very important for you to see that mental health is really important. Instead of you adjusting to negative coping mechanisms, like you're feeling sad, you go and you take your drugs. You're feeling sad. I'm not judging guys, I'm just giving examples. So you're feeling sad, and the best option you have is to go and take alcohol, and that is like you having whole, like maybe you're seeing a linking groove and you get a paper to cover it up. So instead of healing the wound or the cause, you're just making it worse. That's how most of the things be. And I'm telling you, that's why mental health matters. Like if you see that many things are not working out, you just need to reset, and you're like, okay, what can I do for myself at the moment? Because we've seen how mental health can really affect us. Most of us might be asking ourselves, how do I know that I'm not mentally okay? So as I told you, mental health is more about, it takes in different things, your emotional part of it, your behavior part of it, and your spiritual part of it, and your psychological part of it, how you think, how you reason, and all that. So how do you know? Maybe you might be asking yourself, how do I know that I think I need to slow down, I think I need to seek help? Like how do you know that maybe something's not adding up? If you're the kind of a person who easily gets irritated or angry, like small things trigger you and you burst. Maybe you're a parent, and every time you're angry, every time you feel like you want to shout at your kids, like, you know, irritability is something you can know that, okay, I think the way I'm feeling right now, I might not be okay. And also another thing, persistent sadness, hopelessness. You know, you're always sad, simple things trigger you, like you're always there, and like you're asking yourself, wow, when was the last time I was even happy? You know, we have those sessions, we have those times whereby right now I might not be okay, I might not be mentally okay. Remember, I told you, not being mentally okay, you're not mad, you're just human and you need to reset. Yeah. And then extreme mood swings. Someone, you today you're so happy, the next minute you're so sad. Like those mood swings, you even you as a person, or maybe the people around you, if you're that kind of person and you have a friend like that, they might not be okay. You know, you today they're like, this minute they are so happy, the next minute they're so sad, and you're like, what's wrong with this person? And most of us, we just like, okay, is this person normal, is this person okay? Most of us, we start to isolate them because if we don't find them normal. But in most cases, they just need hope, they just need hope. And also feeling detached, overwhelmed, and feeling of guilt and fear. We have those times whereby you feel so guilty and you're in so much fear, you don't know why. There's a time I used to wake up every day and my heart could be racing. I could feel like I'm fearing something, as if something is going to happen to me, as if I'm fearing something. But when you sit down and speak to yourself and maybe analyze your life, you know that maybe there's some things that are bringing anxieties in your life. So you're fearing something, or you're worried about the future. So most times it affects, even this mental health brings us indicators. So there's a way you can know. So if you're that kind of a person who wakes up every morning, you feel so fearful, you're like, you don't know why I'm fearing, but I'm not okay. And also maybe you're so overwhelmed about life, so sometimes you just need to reset. And also withdrawing, like if you used to be that kind of a person, or you're that parent, you had your child, that child used to be so social and all that, and now you're seeing them withdrawing from the community or from the friends that you really like to be alone, and you're asking yourself, why is my child not active as they used to be? Or even you yourself, you feel like you don't want to be in people anymore, you just want to be alone, yet you used to be so social. Most times that is an indicator, and you're like, okay, Mnai, this time around I might not be mentally well. So, and also changing sleep. Yeah, you used to sleep so very well, and now you do not have time for sleep. Like you reach your bed, you can't sleep, you just have it, you're having insomnia, or like you fail to sleep because of thoughts, or you just lack sleep. That could be a sign. And also significant changes in appetite. You used to be that person who used to have your appetite, you could eat your food like 3 plates, and right now you do not even have appetite for, like, you don't want to eat anything. So most times, as I told you, that our brain, really, it is the controller of everything. So this brain sends signals, and if you're not mentally okay, most times there are certain things that will show in your behavior, as I've told you, in your emotions, in your thinking and reasoning. So it's important for you to be looking out for these things. And if you see these things, it's not that you're weak, it's not that you're mad, it's not that you're not capable, it just shows that you're a person or you're human. We just need to look for other coping mechanisms. Hope I'm understood. And also we have those people who neglect personal hygiene. You used to be that person who cleans your room very well, you lay your bed and all that, and right now you wake up, you don't have that energy, you feel like you want to be alone, you can't even have that energy to clean your space, to organize your clothes. Sometimes it can be a sign that you need help. And also loss of interest in your hobbies. I used to be a person who used to enjoy the swimming, the singing, reading books, like different hobbies. I know sometimes when we grow up, our hobbies change, but there's a time whereby your hobbies didn't change, but you just lost interest. You don't want to do anything. You just feel like, I don't have that energy to do something, I don't have the energy to do this and this. Sometimes that can be an indicator. And also increased substance use. If you're that person, use maybe to take 1 beer a day, and now you feel like you need to take more. You can be all different drugs and all that. That can be a sign of mental problem, because the moment you feel the urge to suppress your stress, your depression, your loneliness, your disappointment with maybe a bottle of beer or with some drugs, that means you are not okay. You just need to adjust to other different coping mechanisms. And also difficult in coping up with different life challenges. As I've told you, all of us are human beings. We have that capacity to bounce back to all life challenges because life was built like that. It cannot rain 365 days. There are those days that it will shine, those days it will be so just like that, and those days where it will rain. So that's how life is. And if you're a person and it's really becoming so hard for you to bounce back regardless of what has hit you, and you feel like it is just draining you, taking you the other side, that means you just need to know that maybe something's not working out, something is not really adding up. So that's also an indicator. And also something else is lack of concentration. Like you cannot concentrate that much as you used to do. You used to maybe sit and read like a page or many pages, or you used to do different things at the same time, or you used to do something and now it's really hard for you to concentrate. That might be a sign. And as teachers, you as a teacher, you have that kid who used to really perform so well, and right now you're seeing them, they cannot concentrate in class. They are always sleeping. Some of them are sleeping, they cannot concentrate to do certain things. Instead of maybe caning that child, sometimes you just need to help them out. As I've told you, mental health is not only for us the adults, it's not for us the adults, even the young people go through different mental health issues because we all face life differently. So if that child used to maybe perform so well, and now you're seeing them, they cannot perform to the expectation, instead of you caning them, maybe try to find out why do they have something that are disturbing them. So, and also confused thinking or unusual beliefs, you start to think of different things. Like we have some people, like people start to see things which are not real. You start seeing people who died, all these things, horror things, aliens and all that. If you start having different patterns, you're starting to see different things which are not there, just maybe you need some help. So, and also even persistent negative thoughts. You're always thinking negative of yourself, you're always thinking negative about life, you're always thinking negative. That is a sign, because that is a sign of like maybe you need some help. Even most of us, the reason that's why we even lack sleep, it is because maybe you're having a lot of thoughts, you can't comprehend the thoughts, there's so much for you. And some of us, those negative thinking can even affect us into how we behave or how we relate with other people. So if you see yourself as a person who thinks negatively all the time, just know maybe you need some help. You are not weak, you just need some help. And also feeling overwhelmed and paranoid. You always feel like you have a lot of things you're carrying on your head. You feel like you can't take it anymore. You're so overwhelmed by life. Maybe you need some help. And also, if you always get negative thought of taking your life away, you feel like you're not worth enough, you feel like you are not good enough, you feel like the world doesn't deserve you, you just need to take your life, that can be a sign that you're not mentally okay. As I told you, every human being has a purpose on earth, and every human being has its worth. So if you feel like you're worthless, that means you are not mentally well. You just need to seek for support. Whatever has happened to you in life is just a sign that you're just human, and the way you bounce back to it is what matters. So, and we've learned more of what could be the signals or the symptoms that we might not be mentally well. So, and I'll do you bad if I give you the symptoms and I don't give you the medicine. Kati, some of the things we can do to take care of our mental health. One, the fasting. By the self-diagnosis is not advisable. I don't want you to start like, I've really had students in where I always go to schools, and these kids can be like, Counselor, I feel so depressed, I feel so stressed. It's a person professional to declare you depressed or to diagnose you that you're depressed. So small stress, some of you start saying, oh, I feel depressed, I'm depressed. You might be having the symptoms, but for you to diagnose yourself, you first have to meet a professional. And the first thing you can do for yourself to work on these mental health issues is seeing a professional. People, as I've told you, seeking support is not a sign of weakness. Like when you go for a counselor, for counseling, do not see yourself as a person who's weak. Just see yourself as a person who loves yourself. And by the way, counselors, people think that we are going to, when you come to us, we are going to give you advice, we're going to tell you do this and this, and you're like, what if I go to this lady and things do not work out? No, we don't do that. What we do is we just encourage a person, we just give them options that are there. So you make the decision by yourself. I tell you, we just help you to reach your full potential, to be able to make decisions for your life, or maybe do things that are good for yourself. Yes, so please just seek for that help. You need it. It is not, mental health is not a luxury. You seeking for support tikuba kwejalabya nti munaye nina nnyo sente naawe kantandika okuzigabagaba. No, you just love yourself that much, because I told you, whatever, if you don't take care of your mental health, it is going to affect the way you relate with people, your family, your children, and the people around you. Even your performance as a person will deteriorate because you're not okay. So it is important you seek for support. And maybe these are some of other things you can do. Even to be able to is to speak to a trusted friend. You know, I know not all friends are good, but who's really good for you can give you that listening ear. So personally, when I feel so overwhelmed by life, I have some friends I call. Just listen to me. And if you're that kind of a friend, if someone has not asked you for advice, please do not advise them. Some of us just need someone to hear us. You just need to call me, talk to me, get a listening ear. Remember, a problem shared is half solved. So you as a person, just have that trusted friend you can call and speak to them. Or maybe if you need advice, let them know that maybe I need someone to advise me here and here. If they need advice, it's okay. You can tell them, you know what, I just want you to listen to me. You listen to me rant, and then I'll feel better. So most times when we are in that dark, you just need people around you, just need the family around you, just need, just connect with people, and it will help you feel a bit better. And also another thing you can do for yourself is to engage through exercising. You know, some of us think that those people go to the gym, or those who exercise, bagala kola bunyama, bagala sala weight, nida. Exercising is also good for you as a person, like your mental health. Like the more you move your body, they always say depression hates a moving body. Like when you go out for a walk, I always see people like when you see someone walking, you're like, oh, I love whatever innocent is a transport. No, some people are just jogging to feel better. So I'm assuring you, just try it one day. If you feel so stressed, if you feel so overwhelmed, you move your body. Move your body, like in the morning when you wake up, start moving your body, like for 30 minutes. You can jump, you can skip a rope. You can skip a rope. Also, you can maybe jog around, you can run around. And some of us in Fort Portal, we have a lot of so it's good for you. It is good for you health wise and also mentally wise. And when you exercise, by the way, there's the way your brain becomes collected and you will make decisions in kakani as a person. And also you can engage into relaxation techniques. So for me, I used to have a problem with when it came to speaking, like when I have to speak to a larger audience, I could get anxieties. Like you have that anxieties, your heart is always pumping, you feel like you can't contain it. So I resorted to doing the breathing technique. You breathe in so deeply and out, like you count like 1, 2, 3 when you're breathing in, and then when you're breathing out, you breathe out through your mouth, but on a slower pace. Yeah. so it can help you relax a bit. And also some of us, we do the meditation. You meditate, you think about your life, you get that time to meditate. Some of us do yoga. So those are some of the relaxing techniques as the person you need to calm yourself down. And also self-care. Like most of us really neglect ourselves. Like most of us, you neglect yourself as a person. These are some of the things that bring us mental health issues. Like you start comparing yourself. You see other people looking good, you see other people in shape, you see other people smelling good, and you start feeling bad. Yet you also have a choice. I'm close and you first get money to do certain things, but we have other things you can do around you that can make you maybe look better, look good, and all that. So do that, because the more you feel good about yourself, the more you become even more happier in yourself. Yeah. And also another thing I really like is the gratitude. Most of us, you being grateful doesn't mean that you're forgetting the problems you have. It means that you are thinking about the good things you have in life. You know, we always put our minds to things that we don't have. I need the money, I need this, and you forget the things you have in your life. Like if it means you every day to wake up every day and you write down the things that you're grateful for, even if you just woke up in the morning, most people can't do that. They cannot wake up, and for you were able to wake up. Just thank God for that. You have something other people do not have, even if they have, but you have something, or you were able to achieve that goal. Thank God for that. Be grateful for that, because whatever you set your mind onto is what will grow. I saw someone I was scrolling through TikTok, and someone gave us a very beautiful example. So when you go to Google and you type in let me take an example. You're looking for the negative or the side effects of coffee. You say, what are negative effects of coffee, of taking coffee? They'll give you, it is not good for your mental, they'll give you different things. It brings this home, yeah, it brings this, so a lot of things. But when you go to the same Google and you type in what are the beautiful things, what are the uses of taking coffee, they'll give you also other beautiful things that you should know why you should take coffee. So that is the same Google. So even your brain is like that. When you ask them about the possibilities, the beautiful things about life, it brings you the beautiful things about life. But when you ask your brain about the negative things about life, it will bring you negative things about life. So your mind is what you feed it. So whatever you feed your mind is what it gives you. So be cautious about that. And also you limit harmful habits. Like you can reduce the screen time, because the more we're on this screen time, we start living other people's lives. You see people doing better than you. It's okay to be inspired, but when you overdo it, it becomes so bad for mental health. Like you have a limit. You're like, okay, this time around I'll be scrolling through, and then the other time let me do other things. Because the more you keep your life living other people's lives, you will not be able to concentrate on yours. The only thing you will have is to think negatively about yourself, to compare yourself, to think that you're not lucky enough, to think that you're not good enough, because others are really doing it better than you. And also sleep is really very important, by the way, you guys. Like the more, like you're not a machine, all of any computers will also call this as a gamba time out. Like sometimes there's almost freezing, and it's because they are overheating because they have really worked so hard. Whatever computer you call color na ye took it sang yagala kristinga. Then what about you, a person? You also need to rest. You need to put your brain to rest. You rest without even feeling guilty. You rest. Your brain needs to rest for it to be able to to bounce back, to do certain things. So if you do not have enough sleep, you always get problems with it. Like no kakanamu obongo ne budamu ne resetting, so that you can maybe see the other day. And if you're getting insomnia, that means something might not be right. That is how This is why you should seek for support, or you should do different things I've talked about to feel better. And then even the nutrition we eat, like the nutrition, we should take care of our bodies, as I've told you. Like, think of taking a balanced diet. Think of, like I told you, I always tell my students that you're your number one supporter. Like, most people will die, they will leave you, your friends might disappoint you, your parents, maybe God forbid, might die or disappoint you, or that lover might disappoint you, but you yourself, you're going to stay with yourself for the rest of your life. So whatever you do for yourself, whatever you do for you as a person, like ebintu byewekolera, make sure that byonna ebintu byokera ku makyokkola birina engeri gye bikusupporting, gye bikuyambamu nga ggwe omuntu. So that's why taking care of your mental health has to be it's not a luxury, it has to be a priority, because we are going to that extent. Yeah. And also the things you do, the things you eat as a person, are they really good for you? So we should maybe think more of that. Like, whatever you do, keep that in your mind. So and also, by the way, something that really, I don't know, but something that I really believe in is let's learn to say no. Like, I know most of us really truly want you want to please other people, like whatever you're doing, even if you won't be able to do it or it's uncomfortable, like you can't say no. Why? Whether you people learn to be selfish with your time. Learn to be selfish with your time. Like learn to say no, because I feel like it's something that makes us so overwhelmed. Like, someone can tell you something, you really know that you have a very busy schedule, but you accept it. So you find yourself being under pressure to perform, yet you didn't have time. You also had your things to do, and then this person comes up with their favor. You leave your things, you take their things, you do their things. I'm not saying that it's not good to help other people. It is good, but sometimes no, I'll not be able to do that. No, I won't be able to do that. No, I won't be able to do that. Like, say no, because most times we get like even and you don't even get time for yourself just because you refuse to say no. People are calling you out for vibes, but you feel like, no, I need to rest. Say no. But are pushing you to do drugs, but you're not taking drugs, might not be good for you. Say no. People are giving you even to be say no. No. No, without even feeling guilty. Yes. So there's a few things that you can do as a person to make sure that you're coming back on board. Yeah. And as I've told you, mental health is not a luxury. Mental health is a priority. It is a must. The same way you take care of your physical health, like you have that headache and like, okay, let me go to the hospital, I need to get some paracetamol and all that. Or maybe you're not feeling well, you call your doctor, you're like, okay, I'm not okay, I need some medicine. That's the same way you should take care of your mental health. When you feel like I told you, learn to listen to yourself. When you feel like something is off, you're feeling so anxious, you're feeling so annoyed, you're feeling so sad, hopeless, you're always negative about life, listen to it. I'm like, okay, now I have something that is really not working out so well in me. I need some medicine. What medicine do I need? Do I need to exercise? Do I need to talk to a friend? Do I need to call a counselor? Do I need to visit a mental health hospital? Like, different things. The same way you feel that headache and you ask for paracetamol, it has to be the same way when you feel something is off, you should maybe seek for support. Yes, thank you so much for doing this thing with us. Thank you so much it's been a very good time having you on here, everyone. Thank you so much for listening in, and always catch us every Wednesday here on Fort TV. 8 p.m. and we always have the repeat on Saturday 8 p.m. Please always be on. We have a lot of things to share with you. I'll be having in other people on board, the professionals, the survivors who have been able to go through certain things, and they'll be here to share with us what they have been able to go through, how have they been able to manage life, how have they been able to cope up with different things. So we're going to be having different topics of discussion, so always be on at 8 p.m. here on Fort TV. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's your host Sandra, and the show is called Mind Talks with Sandra, where healing starts with just a conversation. Thank you. Bye.
Fayo na balija bali kusomaho bali kimanya bwatoro kalwanye ndalo